Hey you! Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode of the Monday Nyquil podcast show. My name is SlowpokeFelitos. I'm a part-time streamer, a part-time alcoholic, a seasonal Catholic, and an official Lego Builder license holder. And guys, what a treat we actually have for this week's episode, for our guest does not hold back any punches. Trust me. Formerly known as JVL94, he is actually now known as TheeM1staJ. And with TheeM1staJ, this wonderful human being actually almost had me in the verge of tears on 2 points throughout our conversation, from talking about mental illness to talking about his favorite video game, the love for Halo that this man has. Like, trust me, I'll let him take it away from here. Ladies and gentlemen, TheeM1staJ, right here on the Monday Nyquil podcast show. JValve94, no more, now TheeM1staJ. Mr. J, welcome into the Monday Nyquil podcast show. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing great, buddy. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Putting this whole first season together, I had to put you in here. I had to put you into this a slot. And automatically, when I had the concept coming up, you were one of the main people I actually wanted to put out there, because I even told you offline, off stream sometimes too, that you have a wonderful story to tell, and I would want to give you that boost of like confidence, that boost of morality, where like, you know what, dude, the House of Slowpokes and those that are watching here currently right now on YouTube and those that are listening through the audio portions on Spotify need to know who this man is, especially now that he's transformed himself from JValve94 over to Mr. J, TheeM1staJ. I do apologize. Don't hurt me, please.
I'm watching you right now, boy. I'm watching.
For those that are tuning in to the episode, could you please let us know? First, I've already mentioned your name one too many times, but please, we're gonna keep doing this over and over again until people get it embedded into their brains. Who you are and where do you mainly stream at?
Well, I am Mr. J, or you can call me Joe. TheeM1staJ is the official title, and yes, I was JVL94, no longer. The whole reason I changed that though is because, it wasn't mine. That came from PlayStation.
Oh, the name itself?
The name itself, JVL94, came from PlayStation.
Let me guess, it's one of those generic names that they're like, okay, we got your first and last name or whatever, and then like the year you're born kind of thing, right?
Yep, that's exactly what it was. So that's why I was like, after a while, I was like, man, I hate this name.
So then how did you get the whole TheeM1staJ? How did that come about?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the Joker. I've read all the Batman comics. I'm a big Batman fan. But
right.
My favorite character in all comics in general is the Joker. So TheeM1staJ, and I'm just like, my name starts with J. I love the Joker, and I love purple. Yeah, let's change it. So I wanted to do something that truly was mine, like my own. So that's how TheeM1staJ came about.
Right, and does that actually now feel like, I think you've changed it for a couple months now, and then by the time of this recording, it'll probably be, more than half a year, but I mean, has that actually, now you've actually made it your own, TheeM1staJ, or is it still kind of like new to you?
It's still new to me, but having a title that I actually picked makes me feel a little bit more comfortable, especially when I'm streaming, which hasn't been going on for a while, but I'm getting back into it.
Especially, like, I don't know, every now and then you're trying to figure out to see what kind of a formula you happen to have, or what kind of type of schedule, because a lot of stuff just ends up happening. Like, life just happens. For streaming, if you want to begin way back in the day when you first started, what got you into streaming?
It started out as like a fun little thing, because I actually started out on PlayStation, PS4, and
this was what year, just to set the time frame?
I think it was the first EA Battlefront had just come out, so I think it was 2015.
Okay.
So I think it was 2015, and the whole reason I started streaming was because my friends all got Battlefront, I got Battlefront, and we had other friends that didn't have PlayStations, and they wanted to see us play.
Right.
So I was like, yo, there's a broadcast function on the PlayStation. They're like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know, let's try it out. So I clicked it, and it said YouTube or Twitch. And I was like, well, I've been on Twitch a couple times, but like not a whole lot. And I just started streaming, and from there I streamed the first Battlefront, and then Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, that's a good game, yeah.
Yeah, and I mainly played those on stream from PlayStation for like a couple of years, but then I stopped because it wasn't really like something that I really wanted to do at the time.
Just a
But
hobby in a
then,
sense, or
yeah, just a little hobby.
okay.
So I went live every once in a while. My friends tuned in and all that, but that was it. And then when I actually got that itch to actually start streaming, that was at the beginning of quarantine last year.
Wow, yeah, 2020 really messed a whole lot of people up.
Yes. Yeah, and I remember taking the first like 3 weeks of quarantine. I was like, all right, I'm chilling.
Yeah, and this is
I was relaxing.
Being in the States, like, yeah, I think for all of us, it ended up being basically March of 2020 when it really affected all of us. And
yeah.
Did with that equipment that you have right now from 2020 last year, is that what you started out with, or you've actually have upgraded your equipment since then?
I've upgraded my equipment since then. I mean, I started on PlayStation last year. I continued with PlayStation, and then this year I upgraded to a PC. So now I got my lighting, I got my nice microphone here, I got my webcam. So I definitely upgraded.
See, and that's great because like nowadays, like people they have like green screen backgrounds and like pretty amazing overlays, where like it's like top of the charts type of quality. And like for you, your background, I don't know if for those who listen to the audio portions, and then you mentioned the color purple, like it's just basically your color background purple. That's all it is, right?
That's my favorite thing. It's just purple. The whole reason I'm obsessed with purple is it's a royal color.
Oh, very cool.
And so the idea for the royal colors, and the reason why I like it, it has to tie into the whole Joker thing, because I mean, he's a clown prince of crime. You can't be royalty without, showing off your royal colors.
That's very true.
So that's why I love purple.
And I think as long as people can see you and they can hear you perfectly, I mean, if aside from that, the quality of the games that you put out should be just sufficient enough, right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I run a mid-tier PC. It's not top of the line. It's not anything special. It gets the job done. And I'm not. I mean, I know some things about computers, but I'm more of a simple dude. I don't do the fancy transitions. I don't do fancy graphics, anything editing like that. I don't do that. I just like it pure and raw. And it's mostly just a stylistic choice, because I could upgrade.
Yeah, that's true.
To better stuff. I just choose not to. I like the amateur feel of my stuff. Feel like it's more relatable, because at the core thing, I'm a gamer. I'm not an editor. I'm not a streamer. The core of me is a gamer.
Which is why in Battlefield 1, you just like, hey, homies, let's go play some Battlefield or Battlefront. You're like, hey, you know what? Let's chop it up. And like, the streaming is extra, but you know what I mean. And that's a cool thing that a lot of people really tend to forget. Like as a streamer, like we're gamers too. And like for me personally, I've lost the love of video games. But to you, it makes more of a sense for you. You know what? I like to keep things simple. If anything, it's more pushing the graphics out of the games and like whatever you put out, because like that's what mainly people are going to be focusing on, that, and then just yourself too with your microphone in your face,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, my stick for video games goes from Halo, top of the line.
Okay.
I love Halo. I grew up with it. To a whole myriad of older games. Like there are newer games I play, but it's the older games I find the most fun in, because it's like you said with your love for video games. You fell out of love for video games. I fell out of love for video games for a very long time during the PS4 era, and it's simply because gaming as a culture changed drastically from when I was growing up. A lot of games nowadays are money driven.
Very true.
Microtransactions and all the cool stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. For those that are not really aware or familiar with video games nowadays, back in the day, and TheeM1staJ can agree with this, it's like video games were just simple. You just bought the game, you have everything already included, all the multiplayer or like all the skin colors, like the weapons and stuff like that. Nowadays, like you mentioned, microtransactions is the key now. Money grabbing, like anything from like a laser pointer to weapon skins to emotes, and I mean the list goes on. Currently, right now, at this moment of time, you are at the time of this recording at 83 followers. You are on the road to 100 followers. How long did it take you to reach the Twitch affiliate?
I started streaming again in March. Oh no, I think I started streaming back in April. I got it in October, I believe. Yeah. So, what is that? 6 months.
In 6 months, get the Twitch.
Yeah, 6 months, give or take.
Right.
Took me to get to affiliate, and yeah, I've been on that path to 100 followers since then. It's been a while since I've streamed, so like the growth, it did stall, but I mean, for me, the numbers are just numbers.
They are.
I personally just love streaming, and if anybody wants to stop by and say hi and even chill out, have a conversation about so and so or anything, that's why I stream. I just love playing video games and I love chatting. So like if I'm playing a game and I'm super focused on it, yeah, I get tunnel vision and I don't look at the chat sometimes. So I'll look at the chat like after like 40 minutes and I see like 15 people said something. I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Trying to balance out that thing is
I mean, it happens. It really does happen sometimes when you're on a roll in a video game, and then like, you know what, maybe people in the chat will be understanding, or sometimes they'll be like, hey, just want to stop by, say what's up, or like I gotta go, and then like at that same passage of time, you're just like, okay, you lost your train of thought, and you come back to the chat, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you know, even if I'm streaming, it's just one viewer, two viewers. It still means something to me.
Yeah.
Like on your streams, like you always say you take time out of your day. That's how I feel. Like I'm not here to beg for viewers. I'm not here to beg for followers or subscribers. You're more than welcome to follow or subscribe. Personally, I feel a little guilty when people subscribe because that's money.
Oh, you feel guilty? Why? What the heck?
So I'm not a materialistic guy, and I know money can be used in a better way. You know, some people that are out there that just spend money like willy-nilly, even when they don't have it. I was guilty of that for a very long time.
Okay.
So when somebody gives money to me, I do feel a little guilty because it's like I said, it's like a hobby to me, and I love it. I love streaming when I can, but it's not a job to me, not yet. I mean, if I ever got probably as big as you, that's when I'll be like, all right, let's put some production value into this.
That's a wonderful comment on that, because even if with me, for example, like, dude, like I was at over 200 followers, something like that, I was still pushing it, like, just to see where I can go with this and stuff. And even if you set yourself a goal where like, hey, you're at 100 or like 150, 200, I mean, like, if you were to put more investment into it, I really assure you that, like, you know, more people would actually come by. But then again, to you, the numbers, it's just numbers.
It's just numbers. That's all it is. I mean, like, the road to 100, if I get to 100, I can already guarantee you that's going to kickstart. We're going to do this. We're going to do this now. I'm going to plan this. Let's collaborate on this. But until then, you know, I'm just enjoying my time on Twitch. I've met some really great people. Met you. There's Lavenders, Safre,
Catnesis, yeah.
Catnesis,
yes.
Hero, Valor Wing, Zero.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah.
Sam. Oh, I love Sam. He's got such a good energy, especially when he's getting all ready on Star Wars. He is a huge Star Wars fan.
He's just go-to Star Wars guy. And I know that you play a lot of Star Wars games and stuff. So I mean, like, that's crazy because you've named so many other streamers that are on your community and stuff like that. If you want to talk a little bit more about your communities in a sense, because like, does that kind of register where even though you have that 83 followers, do you still consider that as a community as itself, or is it like something that you're kind of growing eventually?
So my idea of my community is more or less your community, because that's where I see all of us hanging out, and that's where I see all of us doing that. Like, I don't have a dedicated Discord server for the Twitch channel. I'll probably do that eventually, but in terms of a community, I don't really have one yet. I like to consider the people that follow me and tune in as friends.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you know, if it gets to the point where I can expand a bit more, yeah, I'll definitely call it a community. But anybody who comes into my chat, I consider them friends.
Oh.
The only my chat is there to chat, and I keep it open for anything. You want to talk, you want to vent, by all means, talk. I'll be there and I'll talk, because another reason that keeps me streaming is it keeps me sane. Like, my mental health took a huge dip during the quarantine. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
All of us.
Oh yeah. During the quarantine, it was always a gamble of like, do I want to go out and have a good time, clear out any mental health issues that I have, or do I want to stay in and be safe? Now during the pandemic, I was a simple guy. Like, quarantining, I'm not really gonna hang out with people. The people I did hang out with, we literally only hang out with each other.
Oh, right.
And we only hung out like once a month.
So you had that inner circle, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I trust them because they're germaphobes like me. And I wash my hands about 20 times a day.
That's good.
More than 20 times a day.
So you sing a lot of the Happy Birthday song twice, because they recommend every 20 seconds with the song Happy Birthday.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But like, during quarantine, it did start taking a toll on me, especially a few months in. Like, even when I was streaming, a big part of what I did when I was streaming was, when I went live, I did my best to put on that happy face, and it wasn't an act. It was more of something that made me happy.
Yeah.
So that's why I kept up with the streaming, and that's kind of why I want to continue streaming, because the pandemic isn't over, but quarantine is.
Right.
So for me, it's more like, all right, people have lives. People are going out again. People are working. But that time during quarantine, there were people that came into the stream just to chat, just to have a friend, even if it wasn't something deep that we're talking about. Talking to somebody about anything, just bullshitting.
Shooting the shits,
Yeah, that uplifted my spirits, and I can only hope it uplifted other people. So that's why I continue doing this. This is why I want to continue doing this. Yeah. Quarantine may be over, but people still struggle every day with mental health, whether it's depression or even a personality disorder. Like with me, I recently got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and that puts a strain on myself as well as other people that know me.
Right.
Because I shut down really quick whenever I feel any ounce of stress, anxiety. I just shut down. So when I got diagnosed this year with borderline personality disorder, it really opened my eyes, and I was like,
right.
That streaming's fun, and streaming actually is something that helped me cope with that.
Yeah, and I mean too, with the streaming, it does really help mentally, and the fact that, like how you mentioned with the chat, people coming by and actually like shoot the shits, it should give you that boost of morale. But sometimes that negative aspect of like maybe that disorder takes over, and you can't help but like you shut down. And with along with that, do you happen to have that struggle as well with like creating content as well? Because like, I mean, mental health is one thing, but like involving that with streaming, that can totally play a big role too as well, right?
Oh yeah. Creating content, even just simply going live or just getting up in the morning to play a game, or better yet, getting up to go to work is a struggle. Like, it's a daily thing. You just have to get up, and it might sound like brute force, but for me, I gotta get up. Yeah. That's literally what I gotta tell myself. First step, you just need to get up. You need to get out of bed. Even if I feel like I really don't want to go live, I'm just like, I gotta push myself. And even if I don't, at least I tried.
Yes, absolutely. And I think too with I think I'm not a faithful guy. As I pointed out many times, I'm a seasonal Catholic. I only go to church probably once or twice, maybe just once out of the year, right? But I heard this really great quote from a wrestler, and he just mentioned about saying that your higher power, spiritual, but he mentioned God, right? He's like, if God is willing to wake you up in the morning, you can take care of the rest. That's very powerful. And I think for you, yes, it's a brute force where like you have to get your ass up to get the day started. Whether it's streaming, whether it's going to work, going out to eat. It's just something, anything to kickstart the day. You having to share this disorder here, does that ever like do you ever feel like embarrassed or like, you know, feeling I guess like that I don't know, I lost for words in a sense, because you know it's not a whole lot of times where a lot of people really do actually open up about their mental illness, stuff like that, but times have changed, right?
Yeah, times have changed. I think people do get scared of revealing their disorders. I mean, this is actually my first time coming out publicly for my own disorder. And like borderline personality disorder, it's an actual disorder, and it gets misdiagnosed as bipolar disorder. So, for me though, normalizing mental illness and mental health needs to happen. There have been way too many times where someone who bottles it up or doesn't feel comfortable enough to share anything of their anxiety or depression, they just fall deeper into a hole, which leads to something else, whether it's addiction or if it's worse than that. So for me, when I found out, I actually shared it with only a few people. Not everybody knows, but since then, as the months have gone on, I feel more and more confident with myself. On my personal Snapchat, I actually started a thing to help myself out, and it's I call it the daily dose of handsome.
Hey, that's what I call you, but okay. I guess you can only call yourself handsome. I can't call you that.
That's right.
Fine.
That's right.
Well, please share that. Yeah, that'd be great. What's this handsome devil showing up on Snapchats? What do you do down there?
So, with mental illnesses, it depends on the person. You know, not everybody has the same mental illness, and everybody's different depending on what they have, and not everybody's the same.
Very true.
So for me, I have body dysmorphia as well as borderline personality disorder. So I don't like the way I look. I don't ever see what I want to see when I look in the mirror. So there was a moment I had a few weeks ago where I was just like, I'm really not happy with the way I look. I'm really not happy with how I feel every day. So I don't know what it was, but later on in that day, I looked in the mirror when I was at work, and I was just like, you know what? I am handsome. I don't know what it was that clicked. I don't know if it was something I heard. I don't know if it was just talking with people or just anything like that. I mean, it was just a flip of the switch, and I was just like, I am handsome. So I was like,
almost like a mini epiphany, huh?
Like, yeah. And so out of impulse, I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks right now. I'm gonna take a picture, and I posted it on my Snapchat story, and the caption said "Daily Dose of Handsome." And I got compliments from my friends saying, I'm so happy that you're feeling confident. And after getting those messages, because I was afraid, you know, I was afraid somebody was gonna be like, bro, you're ugly as hell.
Just like shut your morality down, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, I didn't get a single negative comment though. Wow. Everybody was so supportive, and I was like, and they were not even talking about the handsome aspect, which is not even the concern for me. It was like, I have no confidence.
Right.
But that's what people were commenting on. They were like, I'm loving to see, I love seeing the amount of confidence you're showing right now. It looks good on you. I was like, that's what made me want to do it. So I continued doing it. I fell off for like the last week, but I got busy. It's not for any bad reason. I didn't get sad. I didn't do this. But I just didn't
get busy.
Yeah, exactly. You get busy. But I try to do it every day. Post it on my Snapchat story. I kind of want to move that over to my Instagram because I'm never on Instagram.
As you should, because you need a platform where like you can actually have those that are up. Dude, you might never know. Out of the currently 83 followers that you happen to have, maybe at least one person's like, wow, I wonder what he's doing. Like, I wonder how he's feeling. You know what I mean? And like, not a whole lot of people, not a whole lot of people actually know how to like reach out to people. Or like, hey, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing well and stuff like that. So if they can see that visually from your stories and stuff like that, I think that's a big step. And like, dude, I almost wanted to fucking teary eye right now, dude. I almost wanted to cry right now. Just like how powerful that statement is, because like, yes, it's a wonderful thing that you actually are able to share that with us here right now, currently, especially how it's the first time revealing that and trying to make it normalizing, where like it's okay not to be okay. We all go through this a lot of times. I went through this last 2 weeks ago of the time this recording, where like, yeah, you just hit a slump and like you just might not know. I think knowing that you're gonna be bouncing back is a wonderful thing. Just now, like, just to win, like, can we speed this up? But it's not a flip of a switch kind of thing, because on one hand, you can sure, like, from whatever reason can bring your morality down, you can shut down stuff like that, but it's can we get to that point where like finally I can look at things in a higher perspective and a higher note and stuff like that. And like, I think if you can actually move that from Snapchat over to those that are watching on Instagram, would be a wonderful idea, man.
Yeah, it's something I want to do. We'll probably start it up in the next week or so. Yeah. It's just, this last week has been crazy.
I totally bet. I totally bet, dude. But you know what, dude? What would be one thing as a streamer who's seen it all, who's been through some sessions where like, yeah, some streams might not have been the best, might not have been the worst. What would be somebody going through something mentally through the streams that like, maybe they don't have what it takes, or maybe it's just something that they're not worth investing the time? What would be something you probably would give somebody an advice to going through some sort of mental state of like, I can't do this Twitch thing?
Quite honestly, do it. Just continue doing it. Don't give up. And the reason why I say that is, if you're really passionate about it, do it. If you want it to become a job, don't even think about that. Don't ever think about, I want to be a streamer, that's what I want to do. Don't do that. As soon as you do that, you start losing focus of what you actually are passionate about, and that fun factor is going to leave you. It really will. Because, I mean, you have a bad session. Whatever. Continue doing it, keep trying. It ain't gonna be that hard to just go live and be like, hey guys, had a little hiccup, but we're back on the horse. Let's get moving.
Absolutely, dude. That's simple enough as you can put it towards. But you know what isn't simple though is having a set schedule.
Oh,
do you, Mr. J? Do you, Mr. J? How do you make time for streaming, dude? Because like you do have a full time. Oh, you don't. But when you do though, like, is it kind of hard because maybe does things come up like more often than not? Do they actually come up spontaneously? Where you're like, oh, I have to cancel my stream, or do you go actually maybe an hour before, letting people know, hey, I'm gonna go live in like 30 minutes or an hour? How does that work for you? How do you do that?
So for me, it's chaotic.
Okay. As if you couldn't guess, guys.
Yeah, because like I live a busy life. I live with my family. I take care of my family as well as take care of my dogs. I have a full-time job.
Okay.
The happiest place on earth. Hate that.
For those listening to us in the audio, he winked. A little smile like Joker grin.
Oh my god.
But yes.
But I'm always busy. There's always something. Maybe I have to go grocery shopping. Maybe I have to take my sister somewhere. Maybe I have to go pick up a prescription for my grandma. Like I have a big family.
Okay.
And they'll always come first. So sometimes that is what puts a hinder on my schedule for streaming. The job also puts a hinder because I'm working 40 hours a week. But
tough, yeah.
Yeah, but I try to do streaming on my off days if I can. I did try doing a actual set schedule for a little bit, and that fell apart really quickly.
How quickly did that fall apart? Like second day, third day, or the first day?
That week, the second day actually. Like I laid out a schedule for myself. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get up.
What did it look
every
like?
other day. Well, I was going to do every other day starting on Mondays. So I was going to do Monday, and I was going to get up, and I was going to do streaming for a few hours at 12 on Monday. Then I was going to do every other day, so Wednesday and then Friday. Those are the 3 days I was going to be streaming. And it was always going to be at 12. That second day I was supposed to go live at 12, didn't go live at 12 because I slept in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I was like, all right. 12 is a little still. It's still a little too early. Let's do 2. So I started doing 2. It kept for like a week, and then I moved it to like, all right, let's do 4. Let's do 6. All right, let's do 8 o'clock. I kept pushing it back, and then I started cutting out whole days. So I stopped streaming on Mondays. Now it's just Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
Then I ended up hanging out with my friends on Wednesdays, so I switched it back. Now it was Mondays and Fridays. Like things just come up and change. So I stopped doing scheduled streams because there was another reason for that. When I started hitting my slump where I was like, I don't really want to get up and stream anymore.
Right.
That's when I was like, I think part of that has to do with the schedule.
Okay.
Because I have to get up. I have to, commit to this time. I didn't like that. I'm a big freedom guy. I like doing what I want to do. And if I get up in the morning and I know I need to stream at some point during that day and I'm in a very bad mood, I'm not gonna want to stream.
I'll have people tuning in like, oh man, he's really pissed.
I mean, I contribute that to my competitive nature. I'm a big competitive guy, especially when it comes to multiplayer games, like
Halo in general.
Halo in general. The reason why I'm competitive is because when I was a teenager, I used to run tournaments and I used to participate in tournaments on Halo Reach.
Oh no! So okay, how are those vibes? Like you have to register somewhere?
Great. So we registered on Engine, which is a forum hub, and I was in 2 clans. DHG was my first one, and then we started my second one, which I actually forget the name of it. The DHD was my first clan I ever joined, and we were split up into battalions and platoons, and then we had ranks.
Okay.
So depending on your rank, you had certain responsibilities. I rose to the ranks really quickly.
Okay. Wow.
And I became general of my own platoon. When you're general, you have command of your whole platoon. You pick your teams. You pick who specializes in what. You recruit. So I had control of my own. I had spreadsheets, man.
Wow, dude.
yeah. I was really committed to because back in high school, I didn't go to regular high school after a while. When I transferred high schools, I went to independent study, which is you go to school in the morning for 2 hours and you come home.
Oh wow.
And all you have for assignments for homework is 1 packet a week. And it's a long packet, but I had a lot of time on my hands. When I was a kid, it was like early 2000. So like kids with ADHD didn't get the resources they needed in order to graduate. I was lucky enough to do independent study. Okay. Nowadays, there's a lot of resources with tutors and alternative education classes for kids.
Right.
And at the time, that was not common. Once I got into that school, though, everything was smooth sailing. I mean, I had so much time on my hands. I was able to prove that I knew the curriculum, because the biggest portion that I hated in high school was homework. And my teachers hated me for it because I would ace my tests. I knew the lessons, but I wouldn't do my homework. So my grades are horrible. And I remember they talked to my mom about it, and we talked to the principal, and my mom was like, so he knows the lessons. And they go, but he's not doing his homework. And she said, but he's passing his tests, but he's not doing his homework. So he knows what you're teaching, but he's not doing his homework. You can see the problem with those teachers. Like, I get it. You want me to do the homework, even though I get it, even though I know the curriculum.
Right.
And the biggest teacher I hated, he was my math teacher, and I took advanced math when I got into high school.
Okay.
And I was very adept in math, but he hated me because I wouldn't show my work. I wouldn't do the homework. So I had to retake a test because he swore I was cheating. So I was like, all right, I'll take the test.
He called you out on that.
Yeah, he called me out on it. No, it was not cheating on the test. I just knew it, and he had me do it in front of him. I was like, all right. So I did the test in front of him, and then he goes, well, how do you get that? I was like, I just do it in my head. And he goes, why can't you pull that out of your head onto your paper or the whiteboard? I'm like, I don't know. I just can't. That's just that is exactly the reason why I went to independent study.
Yeah.
Because I can't explain it. That is just how my brain works.
Yeah.
It's frustrating when I hear people say, "Oh, you can't just know." I'm like, yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. You can just know how something works and just do it.
Yeah, there's just something about you in general that, it's you just can't explain it, and you move forward from that. Like,
Yeah.
I think I took a glance at you. For those that are watching the video, do you have tattoos?
I do. I have two. I have this one, which I got when I was 18. It's a sugar skull and a rattlesnake. And that's for, the Mexican in me.
The Mexican.
Yeah, the Mexican. And then this is a sunflower. Now, the sunflower is because it's my sense of happy.
Oh.
So no matter what, nobody can take away my happy.
So what are we going to be saying the Master Chief tattoo?
You'll probably see that in the next year or so.
Will you be streaming that live? That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, dude! If I get an artist and they're okay with me streaming, I'll totally go live while getting the tattoo.
That would be so cool, man.
Yeah. By the end of 2022, I want my arms covered.
You want sleep tattoos?
Oh, dude! I want my whole body tattooed. I want neck tattoos. I want a tattoo behind my ear.
Oh,
I want tattoos everywhere, man.
Yeah, man.
Tattoos are a passion.
Yeah, and they're always they always any picture, like any tattoo that you happen to show, like right now, or to describe, it has a story behind it.
Oh yeah. I'm big with tattoos. Like, I know I'm gonna get a couple that are stupid, but it's tattoos. That's just me. I love stupid shit. So
going back to Halo, since it's a new game that's gonna be coming out pretty soon, or by the time this is recording, hopefully by now. Of course, you're gonna be streaming this, correct?
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now the real question though, how are you gonna find time to stream? Because I'm pretty sure that life does get in the way. Do you, for you personally, does streaming seem to get in the way because of your obligations in life in general outside of streaming?
No, I don't see it as like a hindrance in any way. It's more of I see life as a hindrance.
Don't we all?
Let's just do the Uno reverse card on that one. But,
wow.
But because if I had my way, oh my god, I would stream for 8-9 hours like every day. But I just can't. Like I just want to keep playing. I want to play, and then when I get tired of playing, I want to watch a movie, and I want to do a watch party on my streams every now and then. But I don't even have time for that. I'm a big movie guy too, so like.
Same here, dude. Same
here.
So I hear you, man, dude. And the theaters have recently just opened up, man. So like,
yeah,
you would find me every Friday on there. I don't know about you, but are you a big movie guy? Like going to the movies every week?
Like before quarantine,
right?
We should see me at a movie theater probably 3 times a week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, so then I can only imagine when you had Movie Pass. Did you have Movie Pass?
I had the A-list at AMC, and I paid extra for the tickets after I got the 3 reservations, and I still paid for tickets. I was just like, I'm going. My rewards for AMC A-list. They went right up. Yeah, I had all the rewards. There was like a month where I didn't pay for a single ticket because I had so many rewards.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're like telling your buddies like, hey, popcorn's on me. Soda, put it down.
Yeah.
Put your wallet down.
Oh yeah.
It's on me. I got it.
Yep. Like I went to the movies all the time. I go by myself sometimes. Like it's just
same.
My like I love games, but if there's anything I love more than video games, it's fucking movies.
Movies, right? Yes.
I love cinema.
Just the experience in general. The experience in general, going to the actual theater. I think I said this in a stream one time. I was like, dude, the experience of actually going to a movie theater, losing yourself for like 2 hours, buttering your fingers with popcorn and like just icy in hand, like you just, that experience alone, it's kind of like how what streaming would be when someone tunes in. Like, dude, if I could entertain you for like an hour or two of your time to forget about your problems or like whatever's going through your head, you've done your job. And the movies do that for us, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that's such a dude. That's a wonderful thing. Like now that I know you're a big movie guy, I'm gonna tell your lady, hey, Mr. J's with me tonight.
We're going on a movie date.
Hey, that's pretty cool. We could like double date, man. That'd be pretty cool, dude. And look how times have changed, and like now that things are opening up again, like, will you be? Have you ever gone to the movies now? Back?
I haven't gone to the movies since they reopened.
Okay.
I'm kind of waiting on that. I'm still trying to get used to even going outside my house.
Okay.
But eventually, yeah, I'll probably start going to the movie theaters, and I already know myself. As soon as I step in that first movie, I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna buy another ticket. I'm gonna watch another movie right now.
Oh shit! Oh no, wait, you would do that?
Oh, dude, I used to do that a lot. Like I would be off from work, and I'd be like, I have a whole day to myself. I really don't want to see anybody. I'm gonna go watch a movie. I go watch one movie, walk out, and I'm like, nah, I'm not ready to go home yet. So I go watch another movie.
Did you used to like sneak into movie theaters like after one movie after another or no?
So it depended on the movie. If I knew it was a movie I wanted to see, I was respectful and I went to go get that movie ticket. If not, if it was a movie that it was like bullshit, I would be like, yeah, I don't mind saving a few bucks here.
And now, some slowly but surely rapid fire questions.
That's right. This is your daily dose of handsome.
There you go. The Mr. J here with the slowly but surely rapid fire questions here on the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show. Mr. J, are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready, kid? Well, it's fun. What was your last Halloween costume?
I think it was either a vampire or Dr. Frankenfurter. Last time I dressed up for Halloween I was still a kid.
Oh shit! Wait, you don't go to Halloween parties?
That's been a while.
Okay. Do you have a favorite Spanish word?
Yes, but I won't say it here.
Oh shit!
Let's just say it starts with a P.
Oh shit! It's a common phrase.
Yeah.
Puedes means you can.
Puedes.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
Oh God, anywhere from 3 to 4 hours.
If you're wanting to have kids, how many would you have?
3. 2 girls and a boy.
Why?
Why? Well, boys are stupid.
Hey, how hot should a hot shower be?
Borderline scalding.
Oof. Do you like the smell of gasoline?
No.
Why not? What's wrong with
it? You sniff gas?
Dude, this is like the best smell ever, man. Besides fresh empanadas, but like,
ooh,
yeah.
Empanada.
What is the must necessities in the car? In your car?
Necessities in my car?
Yes.
Hand sanitizer.
Okay.
Phone charger.
Okay.
And yes, napkins.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my essentials. Absolutely essentials, and I've had it that way since before quarantine.
The last slowly but surely rapid fire question from you. What was your worst movie theater experience?
Worst movie theater experience?
Yes.
Oh God, I went to go see It, and I thought It was fine. It was an okay movie.
Okay.
I'm talking about the new one.
The remake, right?
Yeah, the remake. But this chick behind me kept kicking my fucking chair.
Were you watching this by yourself or?
Yep.
Okay.
I was by myself, and it was just me and her and her friends. That we were the only ones in the theater. I was just watching it, and I was all right, cool, empty theater. They sat right behind me. I was like, well, fuck.
Out of all the chairs and the seats in the freaking auditorium. Yeah. Oh my.
That was my immediate reaction when they came in and sat down. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me right now. So that happened, and then she kept kicking my chair and screaming because oh my God, it's so scary. It's not that scary. And I get it. It's a scary movie, but that is probably the only time I've ever went to go see a scary movie in theaters, and somebody in the audience fucking screams bloody murder and kicks chairs. I've never been to another scary movie where anybody does that. And I got up after a while. I got real sick of it. I got up and I was like, "Can you shut the fuck up?"
What was the reaction?
She was like, "It's a scary movie." I'm like, "Then leave." I got so mad.
Straight up savage.
I got so mad. She shut up and she stopped kicking my chair after that.
You didn't even want to move out to a different seat.
Oh hell no, I was there first.
Currently, right now, do you happen to have either a small or a big goal for streaming for the rest of 2021?
Small goal, actually get back to streaming at least once a week.
Okay.
Once a week is completely fine with me. I don't need to do it every day. I don't need to do it every other day. Once a week is fine with me.
Fair enough.
Big goal, reach 100 followers. That's just big enough for me.
Yeah, man. Especially not caring about numbers and stuff like that. I mean, like, hey, if 100 friends want to come by and support the channel, so be it.
Yeah, that's kind of where my big and small goals are right now.
Yeah, nothing too crazy at all. Because, like, at the end of the day, you know what? Just making the time and the effort to actually stream is something big.
Oh yeah.
Quite frankly, you know, especially how you've mentioned how many, you know, obligations and, like, you know, with work and everything, your relationships and, like, with your family and everything, that all takes a toll on your body physically and mentally. So, like, being able to at least do it once a week, maybe knock out 2-3 hours, maybe 4 or 5, depending on how long you actually want to go. I've talked to and his name's 8-Bit Jerry. And he's a fellow streamer here in the House of Slowpokes, and in his Dead End Kids community, he actually wanted to quit streaming. And
oh wow!
He wanted to quit streaming. He's been longer than I have in the streaming, and like so many other obligations. But the fact that if you can squeeze one day out of the week, and Mr. J, of course, if you can too as well, if you can squeeze one day, maybe an hour or two, that should be somewhat sufficient enough spiritually for yourself, and then for those that are eager to watching your content. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I think another problem I have is I don't even know what I want to stream.
That too?
I don't even know what to do half the time. I just go live and I'm just like
Oh wait, you don't choose the game and then go live, you go live and then you choose the game?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I choose the game and I just like I really don't want to play this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's all dependent on my mood. Like I'm so hyperactive that you know,
Yeah.
I could play a game for like 10 minutes and be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
and just switch over to another game. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, no, but just that, like, not being able to just give up and have that boost of confidence that, you know what, like, you put yourself out there at least. And we mentioned about earlier in the show about how there are a lot of new games coming out really soon. Off stream, we talked about Back for Blood. We talked about in the stream
I can't wait for Back for Blood.
In the session we talked about about Halo, the new one coming out. It's just like there's even more games coming out that we hopefully can have you streaming for what 4 or 5 hours of your day if you can for one day, or like heck, if you can break those into 2 days, man. I mean, like, the more the merrier, my dude.
Yeah, I think when it comes to streaming, it's pretty obvious what games I'm passionate about. I mean, Halo, that's the game I stream probably more than any other game, and the reason why is it's so good, and I love sharing that story because not everybody's played Halo, especially in this day and age. People don't even know what Halo is, and that baffles me.
They know
Halo. Yeah, they know Halo as Halo 5, and Halo 5's garbage. I don't care what anybody says. That game's garbage.
Why is it garbage?
So, okay. Let's put some context behind this.
Sure,
okay?
Please elaborate, please. For those that know Halo, yes.
So we had Halo 1 come out in November 15th, 2001. That was Halo Combat Evolved, and it revolutionized the FPS industry. The reason being, it was just something nobody had ever really played. It's not the first FPS game. It's not the first in-depth FPS game that was successful. But it was an FPS game that changed the landscape of FPS. It introduced regenerating health. It introduced an advanced AI at the time that reacted in a way that we hadn't really seen before. I mean, you threw grenades at an alien or you threw grenades at a Marine, they jumped out of the way. You never saw that in a video game before. Like, it was really advanced. And if you look at other 2001 games at the time, Halo was ahead of the curve when it comes to graphics.
Very true.
Graphic fidelity, the textures, the way the art style itself, that was wow.
Would you put the story as well too on par with that as well, or?
Oh, the story! Oh,
keep it. Keep your pants on. Hang on.
I'm getting a little excited.
For those who didn't watching hearing the listen to audio, he was just about to stand up and, like, you know.
Oh yeah. You know, just rip everything off. There you go. Oh, but the story is what really hooked me. Because I mean, the multiplayer that was a huge component of Halo as well. That drew a whole community,
Right.
and built a whole new gaming niche. But the story itself is what drew me in, and it drew a bunch of the people in as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason for that was it was such a simple story. You know, less is more.
Very true.
And when you start up Halo, it's quite apparent. All right, humans versus aliens.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else is there? Well, I mean, when you go through the game, you know, it just seems like, oh, you're just a soldier man in space after a while.
Yeah.
But as the game progresses, you know, you learn more and more about this Halo ring that you found. Like, oh wow, it's actually a weapon. Oh wow, now we have to go into a scary looking level. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, that level alone is what really threw me for a loop. That
Right.
was probably one of the biggest twists I had ever seen in a video game in forever.
Right.
So when you meet the Flood, it changed what Halo was. Cause yeah, like you can look at Halo. I mean, you can look at Halo in today's standards and be like, oh, it's a shooty game. But back in the day, when you played that game and you came up against the Flood, and it went from, oh, I'm a shooty space marine, to holy shit, I'm running away from fucking zombies.
It changed the whole dynamic
It
of it.
changed
Yeah.
the whole dynamic. Like it made you be like, I want to see where this goes. I want to know the history of what this is. Why do they call it the Flood?
Yeah.
What does a flood do? It wipes away everything. So that's the whole reason they gave it the name the Flood. That was one detail that I loved. It's like, you didn't have to give it you could have literally just called them zombies, but no, they gave the Flood a name.
Yeah.
And that name was very significant. So that's what made me like, oh.
So it's just
And
the story,
then-
the story arc in general, being able to like give it a background and like, you know, give it some sort of backstory to it. Really like the whole lore of the franchise in general just like really made it more, I guess, more endear for you to like invest time and stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, the whole reason I got into it was because my dad bought me an Xbox for my birthday.
Oh,
And
okay.
it came with Halo. It was a launch title, and we played Halo all through the night. And my dad was the one who got me to really get into it, because we were playing co-op the entire night. And the
Oh, he was
day I
playing
got
with
it,
you too?
he was playing with me.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
the day we got it was the day we beat it, and that's the whole reason why I love Halo. Like it was when I was a kid, me and my dad weren't really close,
Okay.
but that was the biggest bonding memory I ever had of being with my dad. And I love my dad. My dad is amazing. But that is the moment that always sticks. I will always remember the day we were going through the library, dying over and over again because the Flood had the rocket launcher, and oh my god. Halo 1 is a great game, but it's not without its flaws. And oh my god, when you go up against a rocket Flood, you better kiss your ass goodbye.
But even then, though, out of all of that, like the very sentimental moment is just you and your father playing, and that's almost as like bittersweet, because like, you know, like you mentioned, you didn't have that great bonding, but if that particular moment in time you could freeze, it'd be that moment of like, you know, you got the chance.
Oh yes, dude. If I could do it again, I'd do it all over. That moment with my father was the whole reason I got so passionate about video game and game design. I love games. I love games just as much as I love cinema, and I love cinema to the point where I will critique somebody mispronouncing a name. Like,
what's the name?
Well, I wasn't gonna say name. Well, I mean, M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender. That shit pissed me off.
A lot of us did, yes. But I would say like,
who the fuck is Ung? His name is Aang, stupid. The fuck? Yeah, no, I'm a stickler for stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, that moment with my dad and just seeing him get so engrossed with Halo.
Yeah.
Got me so engrossed with Halo. You know, it's just one of those things. That's my dad. He likes this. I want to like this.
Right.
And I love it. And like, after playing with my dad, I continued playing Halo. Like that was the game. That was the only game I played for a very long time.
Right.
And that's what got me into games themselves. Like, because I was a gamer before I got my Xbox, but I wasn't like avid gamer. I think the best game I played before that for me that I was a huge fan of was Doom, and that was on a PC. So playing Doom, yeah, I was really into Doom, but I didn't get started into gaming as a whole until I played Halo.
Yeah, and now coming back full circle, how you hated Halo 5.
God.
Why?
Number one, story. Fucking garbage. So, Halo 5 went into the territory of, or it made the boo-boo of the MCU early on. So, let's segue over to MCU for a second. So, MCU had this problem with the Netflix shows and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Right.
That led up to the Avengers movie. The problem was you had to watch all of it to understand all of those references when the Avengers movie came out.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, and it didn't work, so Marvel gave up on that. So let's bring it back to Halo. Okay. Halo 5, they kind of did the same thing, and the reason why is because at the beginning of the game, you're introduced to what's the name? I don't care. I don't even name it. I don't even name it. I only know two names of two characters from the squad. Okay. There's Agent Locke, who came from the horrible TV show. What was it? It was a Halo TV show. I think it was Forward Unto Dawn or something like that.
Yeah, Forward to Dawn.
Yeah, I saw the TV show. It was garbage, hot garbage. And
was it low production, or what was it? Just like the characters, or
it just doesn't make sense. They're trying to introduce Locke, and I think their intention was to make Locke replace the Chief in Halo 5. Yeah, you barely play as the Chief in Halo 5.
No way.
You barely play as the Chief.
Are you serious? The main character, the poster boy in the cover of the game. You're really what the hell?
Yeah. You're just like, yeah, it's garbage. You play as Locke, but at the beginning of the game, you're introduced to his squad. Okay. Now, one of them is fine. His name it's Nathan Fillion. He plays Buck. Okay. So the first time we saw Buck was in Halo 3 ODST, and I like Buck. Buck is a good character.
Oh, he's in ODST? I thought all the characters died in ODST.
So not everyone died in ODST. People who played Halo 3 ODST know who Buck is. Unless you watch the show, you don't know who the fuck Agent Locke is. Nor should you care. He's a wooden character with no emotion, and nobody really cares about a dude who's gonna hunt the Master Chief. So it opens up with this awesome action scene that I guess looks cool. For me, it doesn't look that cool. It just looks annoying. Okay.
So it's not even passable. It's not even passable.
No, oh man. For me, no. It shows them skydiving down onto a battlefield that's being fought between the Swords of St. Helios and the Covenant. The Swords of St. Helios is the Arbiter's forces, so he's fighting what's left of the Covenant and the newly formed Covenant, whatever.
Right.
It's all confusing because it doesn't make sense.
Yes, but I'm kind of following, but yes.
But that whole action scene, I guess it looks cool on paper. It doesn't look cool to me. The reason being because I'm watching a fucking 20-minute cutscene of Spartans kicking ass when I want to do the kicking of ass.
What? Oh my god! How infuriating is that, man? Like,
can we just get to the game? Like, this is the intro of the game. Like, I get it. Halo usually has long intros, but they're so cool. And they're because they're world building, okay?
Yeah.
And they lead up to you taking control of characters. It ends with everything crashing down. Yeah, you take control of Locke after that, but then you're just like, so there's no action. All right. And then you get into the action, and you're just like, the fuck is this?
I've already seen all this. Like, where's the kaboom?
And then there's no sense of challenge because there's a revive mechanic. So you get downed, you don't die. However, the game is semi-difficult to the point where you're going to get downed a lot, and the AI in the game is absolutely horrible and garbage. So the AI never picks you up, so you'll end up bleeding out or just pressing the pause button and going to throw your controller at the wall.
Oh, man.
So that happens, and then they continue with the redesigns of everything in Halo 5. So it still looks like hot garbage. I think the only thing they didn't redesign is the Ghost,
Right.
the Covenant vehicle. But I mean, you can't really redesign it. It's been redesigned so many times, and it still looks the exact same. So
Jeez.
there's that. And it's Halo 5 does not feel like Halo. Between all the redesigns, the story that doesn't make sense and is absolute.
He's about ready to break the camera here, guys. You guys are listening to the audio.
Oh god, it's just horrible. Like between the story being written, like it was written by second grader, and and the gameplay being I mean, I get it for multiplayer reasons. I saw the multiplayer. I didn't even play it. I saw the multiplayer, and the multiplayer for me looks like fun. The multiplayer. But Halo has also been a very story-driven franchise.
Yes.
So I would assume that the effort you put into the multiplayer, you would put that same effort into the story. Right. That is why we love the Master Chief. And there's a scene in Halo 5. That's what really made me, all right, this is a deal breaker, I'm done. For Halo 5 was the scene where Chief and Locke fight.
Okay.
Now, in reality, Chief is going to knock him out right away. All right?
He's a badass.
Hands down. Exactly. And the fight takes, I don't know, it's like 10 minutes of them just fighting, and it's not even a well choreographed fight. It's actually stupid. It's like watching two old men fight. Oof. over I don't know, Sunday breakfast. It's not a good fight scene. It makes the Chief look weak. And the Chief himself has already proved himself. I mean, the dude fucking flew a bomb into a carrier and blew it up while flying back down onto a human ship. All right, and you're telling me this dude, which nobody cares about, can take him on for 10 minutes, please?
Gosh,
get out of here.
Really dropped the ball then on that one.
Yeah, get out of here with that hot garbage.
So then, what makes this new Halo? Was it Halo Infinite? I don't want to butcher the name.
Yeah, Halo Infinite.
So what makes this new Halo game promising on your perspective? Because by the time, when is it supposed to roll out again? The game?
I think they said November. I think they're gonna go with they're gonna go with the November release date.
Got it. So I guess for you right now, what is the momentum going into this new Halo Infinite game that you want to see? So
when I first saw Halo Infinite, like when the gameplay dropped for E3, I think it was 2019.
Right.
When the gameplay came out, I wasn't that excited. I was like, yeah, it's cool. I mean, all they showed for that gameplay was, to me, an expanded Halo level. Because in Halo 1, there's a level called Halo, and it's to introduce you to the ring. Yeah. And what they showed, that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, all right, so it looks like Halo, but the graphics don't look that great. I don't care about graphics all that much, just as long as gameplay's fine and the story's great. Cool.
Right.
But it just, something was really off about it, and I think it might have just been, it was so early that they probably should not have shown it.
Probably damage was done by Halo 5. So.
Yeah, so but they're going back to the roots of the art style, which is what gave me hope, because the elites look like elites. The brutes, yeah, they don't have any hair, which was a weird choice, but they look like brutes. And the grunts, they're back to being grunts. So I got somewhat excited. And then the story started coming out about Halo Infinite and what it was like behind the scenes, and that's what dampened my spirits again. I was like, okay, shit. But there was a saving grace a few months later. Joseph Staten is one of the original creators of Halo. He was the cinematic director for Halos 1, 2, 3. I think he worked on Reach and ODST.
Oh, wow. He's got really good credentials. Okay.
He's a big reason why the Halo story is so good. And the last time I saw Halo Infinite gameplay was the multiplayer gameplay leading up to this new testing phase that they're doing, which I do like the way they're doing this, because they're rolling it out to the public, and they're having the changes be based on data that is given by the public. So
okay.
I'm happy with how they're doing this. But after seeing the last gameplay that came out,
Yeah.
all I have to say is Halo's back.
Oh,
And it
okay.
is 100%. It is 100% the reason of
All right.
Joseph Staten. You know, 343. I'm not gonna say they're a bad studio. Like, that's not fair. That honestly isn't fair, because they did try to make something their own. It just didn't pan out.
No.
And for me, yes, I will criticize it and say it's hot garbage. But that's criticism. That doesn't mean I have any ill will towards 343. By all means, they tried.
They tried.
It just didn't work out.
They got an OP ball, and it's just like, well, overpowered, and like it was too much for them probably to handle, and they caved into the pressure of trying something new. And yeah, trying that is a double-edged sword, because you're messing with the material and the franchise of the property with, you know, trying to mesh with something new. It's like, again, we've said this beforehand, don't fix something that's not broken.
Yeah, if it's still working, it's still working.
Yeah,
chug it along. So, but the art style alone in Halo Infinite, yeah, it's drastically changed, and it looks amazing. It looks like Halo again. Like, right. I'm very happy about that. And they keep, I can see it in the multiplayer. They kept a lot of the aspects that were introduced in Halo 5, which is fine. Like I said, the multiplayer looks fun. Multiplayer looks great. But Halo Infinite itself, it's just going through so many changes while adding a ton of new things to an established franchise. But it just looks amazing. One of the biggest changes I love was that they're getting rid of the team colors. So in team-based multiplayer, they're getting rid of red versus blue. It's controversial, but I think it's fine, simply because it's promoting customization to make your own Spartan. Make your game the way you want it. And that's something that was central to Halo since Halo 2, because Halo 2 was the one where we first started to change our colors and the accents. It wasn't just one whole color anymore like it was in Halo 1. In Halo 1, your entire Spartan was either red, blue, purple, black, whatever.
Right.
But in Halo 2, there was accents where you can make your own emblem. You know, that's where it started with the customization, and it just expanded from there.
Wow.
And just seeing how it's changed gets me excited, because there's a definite change in direction for this game now.
There's hope.
There is hope. There is hope. And I signed up for the Halo Insider program. If any listeners are excited for Halo, or interested in Halo, or even just interested in checking this out, you can sign up for the Halo Insider program right now on Halo Waypoint. Just Google it, and you can go in, sign in, and they call them flights. They're periodic tests on hardware. So there's PC, and then there's Xbox.
Okay.
I think it's the Series X, I think, only right now. I don't know if it's on the One X or the One.
Right.
But they're doing the console flights right now, and I think they're gonna do the PC flights in a couple of weeks. So there's still time, people. There's still time.
That's awesome.
Do it.
That's
play
awesome.
it. Give your feedback.
Come back to this Halo franchise, man. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
That's one thing I actually wanted to ask you. Revolving into, like, with the streaming in general, of like, my question would be like, how would you know, at least for this year, what would be something different you can do to, like, maybe expand yourself, to give yourself more exposure? Like, you think maybe doing these reach outs of, like, people signing up, like doing hashtags, would kind of be beneficial for people to be like, hey, you know what, this guy Mr. J really knows this thing. Like, I kind of want to not only follow this guy, what he's doing, but maybe sign up for that kind of stuff. Do you think that could be one of the things that you can implement this year?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I try my best to, like, promote games, like, you know, I see everybody playing Call of Duty right now. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I see everybody playing Warzone. But I don't see. Well, there you go.
Guilty.
But I don't see anybody playing, like, a lot of the old games, and I see a lot of people getting, like, super competitive and super pissed off at, like, oh, I died, oh, this and that.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty, people are so tryhard, and and they get so mad, and I don't ever see people just fucking around in a video game anymore. now it's so competitive, and now it's so like, oh, I need to do this. I have to play it this way. And it's like, it's a video game, dude. It's a video game.
Would you ever like show a lot of the more streams of retro games that maybe people be like, hey, you know what? I remember playing that back in the day. I wonder how this guy will do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games. I mean, retro nowadays is like early 2000s, but
can you believe that now, man? That's crazy.
God, that makes me feel old. But like I'm looking at my games list right now, and I have games like Far Cry 2, which that is actually my favorite Far Cry game. That's my favorite Far Cry game.
Serious? A lot of people don't talk about Far Cry 2. Wow.
And it's because it was a tech demo. I mean, arguably, it's for me, it's the best. But yeah, it's a tech demo because it's what led into the whole Far Cry open world aspect and the whole do whatever you want type of mentality that Far Cry has chugged along for the longest time.
So it seems like you do happen to have a lot of in your arsenal, a bunch of like games that you really want to put out there that hopefully in due time you probably have some time to stream those.
Left 4 Dead 2. I know I wanted to collab with you for Left 4 Dead 2 for sure.
Hopefully by the time this episode's out, we can play some Left 4 Dead 2. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'd love to hit a couple clowns with some frying pans.
Oh yeah. And then you got the whole catalog of like early 2000s Star Wars games. Yeah. I mean, if you've seen Sam, he plays a lot of them, and they're amazing. Yeah, those games are amazing.
The Chosen Sam, another one here in the House of Slowpokes that he really like. He's from Belgium, by the way, man. This man is like hours ahead of us or before us, and like this man here, like his energy and vibes just like spreads out like wildfire in the sense of like, we catch these positive vibes from him, and like this man here does know how to bring joy to us, and like is a Star Wars enthusiast, and like pretty sure you have that great connection with him being a Star Wars fan as well too.
Oh dude, I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars so much that just reading about the lore gets me all giddy inside. And when Sam comes into our streams, like it's for him, it's usually like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I'm just like, does this man ever sleep? Because I remember there was one day where you streamed, he was in there, and then he streamed, and then I streamed, and then he came into my stream, and then it was like really late, and I'm like, do you sleep? Oh my god! By this point, you've been up for like, I don't know, more than a day.
Basically, yeah. But this man, he just carries on that power positivity, man. That POP, holding it down, man. Which hopefully for you, hopefully you'll be able to carry that throughout this year, and then like, I don't know, perhaps something where, it's something like where you catch a break in a sense of outside life. Totally understandable, things happen, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, do stuff that you love, and this, hopefully streaming, you still have that itch of like, you love it, and because it's a hobby of choice, it's not a job. Any of those fall in that category, or do you feel like it's something where you need to work on? I
mean, I think I need to work on my time management. I love streaming. I love streaming, and right now I do have that itch. I want to go live right now. I wanna play, but I'm still trying to figure out like what to share in terms of content. Because I mean, I could share Halo all day long, but I mean, even I get a little tired of playing the same thing over and over again. I want to play other games. Right now, I'm on a Warhammer 40K shtick. Because I'm a huge Warhammer fan too. Space Marines and Orcs. Oh, I love it. So I might play some Warhammer Space Marine on stream at some point.
Very cool, man. So, speaking of which, how would you describe yourself and your channel as a whole for someone that's tuning in for the very first time, Mr. J?
Amateur. But I don't mean that in a derogatory sense.
Elaborate, yes.
I'm cheap. so I don't really pay to have my graphics made. I don't have emotes yet. I'll eventually have emotes. It's just not a thing for me yet. But in terms of why I say it's amateur is because it does have that amateur look, and I do have that amateur style. Everything is as it is. I go with the flow. If things don't work out, I continue, working with it. I work through it, and, we improve and we learn. Like, I know computers, I don't know streaming. I'm here to play games. I'm here to chat. I'm not here to wow you with my style or with my talents of drawing, which I have none. I'm not here to wow you with my talents of being a good streamer. Like I'm simply just a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to share my experiences with you. If somebody wants to share their experiences with me, I'm all for it. That's what my chat is open for.
Which social media app do you think you're most active on? So that way people can be like, oh, you know what? Maybe is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Which to you is more people can actually go over to chop it up with you after streaming?
Instagram is probably the best place to hit me up, though. I mean, I usually have my phone on me. I don't always have it on, but I do usually have my phone on me, and I do my best to try and reply to messages. I know I'm terrible at that with you, but
it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss, but hey, we're
it's
trying.
a hit or miss.
Slowly but surely.
We're trying.
We're trying.
Yeah, best. I'm trying to get a little more active on Instagram as well. But
all right. Well, as we're winding down here on our wonderful session here, TheeM1staJ, I just gotta say, you sir have the potential to make it big here. We're almost breaking the 100 followers ceiling. I mean, if we can get to 200, 300, 400, whatever it is, at the end of the day, you have me as a friend, and it's just a wonderful thing. When I met you, what was it? Maybe now it's gonna be a couple months back now.
Couple months, yeah.
Where we agreed we're just gonna sit down and have some lunch, chop it up, dude. What I thought was gonna be maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, dude, we chopped it up for 3 hours.
Yep, that's right.
And
that was a life-changing experience.
How so? What do you think? How do you so?
Well, you're just such a good and positive guy, and you carry that over even into real life. Like, you could be someone on camera and then somebody completely different, off. And no, you stay 100 the entire time. And it's gonna sound terrible. No, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know you, and then we met, and I like by the end of our talking sesh,
yeah,
I felt like I had known you for years. Like I get that. Like it was just so what's the word? Enlightening.
Well, I mean,
and
it's security, relieving. Right? I would say. It's like,
yeah, because like imagine how short our talk would have been if you were a dick, or if I was like a complete dick to you.
Yeah, well, I honestly, walking out, I was like, this was gonna be probably like an asshole, probably, I don't know, or like you probably had a rough day at work and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I would imagine that, you'd probably take it up on me and be like, it was cool meeting you. All right, bye, see you later. I'm gonna hang out with my homies and whatever. You know what I mean? But like, no, we literally chopped it up for 3 hours, and
3 hours.
To me, it felt like literally 20-30 minutes, dude. And that was just like such a wonderful, you would say like a sense of relief, as you were about to say.
Yeah.
Because, to me, like, I really don't have a lot of friends outside of streaming, and then to consider you as a friend that I've met you through streaming, that I have the chance to meet you through here, and we chop it up about a bunch of things, and like even we shoot the shits, or even we get emotional, and on a really level note of like understand, common sense of understanding. You know what? We're two different people, two different backgrounds, and we may not like the same things, but at the end of the day, dude, we're truly friends, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I admire you so much that the sense of like not giving up, because like I come from a background too as well where like mental illness is something that was shameful or something like that, or like, hey, you know what, just shake it off or whatever, right? But like growing up now, it is totally accepting, and just having that connection with you through that. And it doesn't have to be always just sad or like talk about like depression, stuff like that. Right. There's always positives, and like with you, I see the light in you, my guy. I see you as a friend that like, as long as you're not giving up, dude, like I have your back 100%, dude. Like I have in my stream channels, I have a lot of like commercials that air, or like promos that I like to announce and stuff like that. And I would love, like, maybe if you somewhere down the line, if you have something where like it's just your promo like for your channel, or like maybe you have an upcoming event coming up and stuff, like I would love to showcase that for you, or even if it's just like your socials and stuff like your handles and stuff like that. I'm open for that for you, man. All right.
And that means the world to me, dude. I mean, like it's like I said earlier, like I stream for myself, but I also stream for anybody who wants to tune in, and anybody who needs either a break from life, a break from a mental breakdown or something like that. That's why I do it. So I never ever thought I would be supported by so many good people. You, Lavender, Sam, my lady, my sweet lady.
Oh, you want to throw her out there?
Sweet lady Julia. Hi, babe.
Yeah.
Like, but having the support and like you started it all too on the whole like shouting out portion, like the support for support, that was like that was big, because I was like, I've never met somebody who streams and is this open to just jumping into somebody's chat, shooting a follow, and then messaging
Yeah.
right away. Actually trying to get
On
the
a human
shtick.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, on a human level, it's really comforting. And like, you, my good sir, you are the whole reason I still try to do this, because I mean, I could have stopped.
Yeah.
But then you came around, you jumped in my chat, and like it literally bumped me up, and I was like, I want to keep streaming.
As you should, because like again, at the end of the day, like over on my end, hopefully by the time this recording is out, we have broken the 500 follower ceiling, and out of all those 500, like out of all the followers or even friends that I've met along the way, you know what I mean, in the community, in the House of Slowpokes, I could pinpoint each and every little thing differently from someone, and that's why to you, Mr. J, the Mr. J, makes you unique. That you're here today, still, being willing to give it your all, and even when you're not 110%, you still are there managing to, give it at least something where you just never know. Somebody might be looking up to you. That one person, as I mentioned earlier in the show, that might end up looking up to you. And you never know, it might be someone that's 20, 30 years older than you, or probably like an 11, 12-year-old kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you just never know how powerful you are as a human being, as a streamer, that shows just the, how would I say it? Just the initiative to not giving up. And so to you, I leave you the floor, Mr. J, to if you want to, reveal any upcoming projects, if you want to you're on your stream, sir. If you guys are watching the video, down below you have all your social media accounts, names, and stuff like that. Please, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Oh, put me right on the spot. Ooh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna kick back right now in the chair.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at TheeM1staJ. I am trying to get a little bit more active on there. You'll probably see more of the daily dose of handsome on there. Now, here's the thing about the daily dose of handsome. That is an actual project I am trying to commit myself to, especially on Instagram. And that's because I know everybody struggles with something. There's something that you don't like about yourself or anything like that. That's your chance. Like, when I post daily dose of handsome, put daily dose of beauty, daily dose of pretty, daily dose of handsome yourself. I challenge everybody to do that. You do that, I'll showcase you on my story. I'll shout you out myself. And that alone is my biggest project at the moment, is because I have struggled with the body dysmorphia for so long that I'm still working through it. And every day that I get up, I try and do my daily dose of handsome. And I try. That's the biggest word, try. Always try. Always try. But yeah, Instagram is where you'll see me probably the most. I'm on Discord, on JVale94. Still haven't changed that. Still can't change that. I think I'll keep that, just for legacy's sake. You'll see me in the House of Slowpokes server as well. I'll be in there. So if I'm ever online, you see me on there, go ahead, message me if you just want to talk, or if you want to play a game, hit me up. I'm on TikTok as TheeM1staJ as well. I have a few old TikToks on there. I haven't been on TikTok in a while, but I should be making some new ones depending on if I remember to record my gameplay. Yeah.
And try you will, Vance. But Mr. J, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for doing this here and here in the Monday Nyquil podcast show. I say this, which I should have said this in the beginning. We try to entertain you as much as we can, or as the title suggests, we will put you to sleep. But Mr. J, you've made this episode quite a memorable one, in the sense of, like, just there's always something that maybe some person might not know about you, and I'm really glad that you got to share with us today in this episode for this. And I hopefully moving forward that just keep doing what you're doing, and like at the end of the day, yes, you have a place here in the House of Slowpokes. You have a place in my phone. You have a place in my heart, my guy. And I look forward, but nothing, and I wish you nothing but success in the future.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. You mean the world to me, and that means the world to me alone. Like, it's this alone was already an amazing experience, and I love doing this.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, that is it for the Buddy Nyquil podcast show here with SlowpokeFelitos. Hi, you can find me here over on my socials down below on the screen. Mr. J, if you can use your finger powers, ding, 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 up here, and just point down below, you'll find all your socials there through Twitch, TikTok,
right
Discord.
here.
Yeah, no, not to your chest. That's
that's later. Got it.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much, guys. Adios.